this time, returning to the peace of my mind. Fear falls away, crack the shell of a new day.
Boy, this is Zulu Fakola David Dinkara Ifa Temple. We welcome you to our Ile Juba Temple service, and we also welcome you to the new year. So I want to begin our temple service with morning prayers. So let us begin. If you can find your Ifa or put your head to the floor, that would be great. Mojuba loro mojuba leda mojuba loro mare. Mojuba bobo rumle mojuba bobo male mojuba boy tembele solo domare. Mojuba miss mother de students very mojuba darsa. Mojuba base mercy mojuba fidelis mojuba Clifford Dennis Walkers mojuba Dalia mojuba Zion mojuba Nago mojuba Clifford Holmes mojuba Clifford Walkers mojuba Jenny Dan mojuba Katie Bradley mojuba Oscar Bradley mojuba James Owens mojuba Benino Chino mojuba no Black Dennis Agustin Gomez mojuba bobo egun tembele solo domare. Ashe. At your bed. He hears people's pleas and accepts the pleas. He hears people's pleas and approves pleas. He talks to people and ensures that the talk is completely absorbed. He hears people's pleas and accepts the pleas is the name of Ifa. He hears people's pleas and approves of the pleas is the name of Eshodar. He talks to people and ensures that the talk is completely absorbed is the name of Orishana. Orishana, you the person amongst whom beings, the person amongst whom cannot fail to impress one. The striped frog is once his rainfall. Bullfrogs on some downpour. It is whatever the courageous poem to you tells earth what earth accepts. Whatever the big rat tells earth is what earth accepts. All what I tell you, Fa, please accept and approve them. I share. Otorete, to show gratitude upon gratitude, the alva gratitude, to display benevolence upon benevolence is the alva benevolence. Whoever does I show gratitude for yesterday's benevolence, such a person will not receive today's utility. These are decorations to the 401 in Roomland. We're going to marry your boy, daughter of Yushuji. These also decorate Sifa to the 401 room that I'm going to marry your boy, and also to a room that I'm going to marry your boy. Not of Shibuji. I'm grateful I see my Batuti. I'm grateful for yesterday's favor. I see today's Batuti or Turate. We're very grateful. I share. Awa dupe, awa bore, awa dupe, awa bore. Adúpẹ́ aláwọ̀ àwòrán ìtúlẹ̀bọ̀ Olódùmarè àwa dúpẹ́ àwa àbúrẹ́ àwa dúpẹ́ àwa àbúrẹ́ adúpẹ́ aláwọ̀ àwòrán ìtúlẹ̀bọ̀ Olódùmarè àwa dúpẹ́ àwa àbúrẹ́ àwa dúpẹ́ àwa àbúrẹ́ adúpẹ́ aláwọ̀ àwòrán ìtúlẹ̀bọ̀ orí ẹni àwa dúpẹ́ àwa àbúrẹ́ àwa dúpẹ́ àwa àbúrẹ́ adúpẹ́ aláwọ̀ àwòrán ìtúlẹ̀bọ̀ èrò mọ̀lẹ́ àwa dúpẹ́ àwa àbúrẹ́ àwa dúpẹ́ àwa àbúrẹ́ adúpẹ́ aláwọ̀ àwòrán ìtúlẹ̀bọ̀ Lẹ́gùn Olodumare, the divinities, we ask that you would forgive us. We ask that you would forgive us for any time we may have broken our taboo, any time we might have said or done the wrong thing, Anytime we might have been out of place, out of pocket, or out of balance, we ask that you would fortify us. Eroso and tutu, pounded down without soup can be very difficult to consume. These were the decorations of V5 tutu, the child of Beneregon. He who has bad character, whose bad attitude had prevented him from entering G5's domain. Now we come to solicit on behalf of a tutu. We've come to beg on behalf of a tutu. How many children does Ifa have that he would cast one out? Those who beg on behalf of the tutu, Ifa will beg you to support us. We ask that you would forgive us for anything we have done incorrect or wrong. We call on the Odu, Obe, Alara. Please ward off the sickness, cases, controversy, ward off fights, litigation, losses, and our fights from us. Bring forth to us long life, wealth, good spouse, good children, healing, joy, peace of mind, victory, and all the things of life. Oh, Belada, Arumla says time to sleep. I echoed it's time to sleep when the day dawned. I met Arumla in the 16th room, where he covered his head with a flowing gown full of lights. He was wearing a dress full of bloodstains. He was snoring heavily. They told him that delegate from his disciple arrived. Arumla inquired what the delegate brought. They told him they brought 2 rats fit their money, 2 fish graceful swimming, 2 birds fit their flight, 2 goats with big livers. Arumla said, that's I admit my ignorance. He's educated me. Motona Karaba, I have suffered a bosom and survived. Motona Karaba. The dog can masquerade to be Zagbajan repeatedly. The dog can masquerade to be Zagbajan repeatedly to perform rituals because of children. You are the leaders, we are the followers. Leaders are the ones who show the followers wisdom. Arumla told them to get alligator pepper, get colonna, get bitter corn, get alcohol. Your couple got the alligator pepper, you got the colonna, got the bitter corn, you got the alcohol. That is right, it's now that he's fully awake. Arumla, when you are fully awake, please look at me with eyes of compassion. Gaze with eyes of compassion. The heavenly stars, you can look at the stars below. Arumla, when you're fully awake, please look at me with eyes to help one to secure great wealth. There's such good eyes that the heavenly stars, you can look at the stars below. Arumla, when you're fully awake, please look at me with eyes to help one to secure a good spouse. There's such good eyes my spouse is using look at me with. Arumla, when you're fully awake, please look at me with eyes to help one to bear many children. There's such good eyes a child should use and looking at a well-decorated plate. Before long, not too far, join us in the midst of all Iraq. If we call on you to give us blessings, we ask that you would support us and secure us. Push away all negativity, push away all evil and danger in this new time, this new year, and bring to us long life, wealth, good spouse, good children, longevity, prosperity, victory over adversity, peace of mind, joy, healing, success. Help us to make the money that we want to make, meet the spouse that we want to meet, marry the spouse we want to meet. Those who want children, help them to have children. If I push away all negative energy so that we can experience the good things of life. If I ask you also that at this time you would move my ego out of the way, my faults and failures out of the way, so that people will hear a word of Ifa, so that they would hear a word from Allah Dumari. I call on you for your protection. Emma kami meni amo, Emma kami meni ano, Emma kami meni adelokum. Tamole etori Ifa alonini, ebora timpanini, anybody me, I don't have to Ifa. Ifa, we ask that you would come and support us. Ifa, we ask that you would come and give us sustenance and solidification on the Odu Ifa, or She Arula, tiny on the feet of Tubu. The stripe of a chameleon is not big enough to be his headgear. Had it been enough to be his headgear, I would have taken it home and do my hair with it. These Ifa's decorations to Arula. We go on our spiritual mission to Jebulan. We call locals with self money, consult and make a rich corner. Oshirula, Zgrawo, Oshetra, Akikini Bagisa, the abstract sharp against the tree. Castify for Rumu, Ibana share from Oladomari. If an old tells you should be wealthy, you should be wealthy. Akikini Bagisa, and the mouth of one was Azibana share, and the mouth of Nawo. Don't touch our joy, you should have joy. Akikini Bagisa, and the mouth was Azibana share, and the mouth now. If no such a victory, should have victory. Kicking a baggy sound. The mouth was at Zibana, she and the mouth of an hour. If no such a have all good things in life, you should surely have all good things in life. Kicking a baggy sound. In the mouth of an hour, at Zibana, she and the mouth of an hour. Let's see, maybe so. Surely shall it be. Àṣẹ òrìṣà lẹ́nu mi o, àṣẹ òrìṣà lẹ́nu mi. Ogun tí mo bá màmá wí o, ìrúmọlẹ̀ ó bà. Ifá ó bá o, àṣẹ òrìṣà lẹ́nu mi. Àṣẹ o. Tí mo dúró, tí mo súre, bí mo bẹ̀rẹ̀, tí mo súre, bí mo kúnlẹ̀, tí mo súre, bí mo jókòó, tí mo súre, ire tí mo sùn orí ti bọ́. My Ori is my good luck charm. Orí ẹni làrúrẹ ìyá ni ọ́, orí ẹni làrúrẹ ìyá ni. Ojúlómi fa wá mọ́rí, orí ẹni làrúrẹ ìyá ni. Ṣe gbogbo rẹ̀ jáàzú. Ifá ò bá ẹ lọ́rùn. Àtìbàjájú, Ifá ò bá lọ́rùn. Ó ṣe àrú ìlà Ifá ti bú. Olódùmarè and the divinities, we thank you for life, health, strength, food, clothing, shelter. We thank you for all the blessings that you've given. Please continue to move our bad character, our failures out of the way. And bring to us long life, wealth, with spouse, with children, healing, victory, joy, success, and all good things of life. Help us to experience the good condition here in this time. Aboru, Aboye, Aboshishe, Abo Ato. Aboraboye. Once again, this is a Luo Fakula Day. We welcome you to the new year. We welcome you. We thank you for all your support, and we look forward to even more joy and support in this new year of 2024. So this is the first Ile Juba of the new year, so that's something great. So today I'm out of town. We're transmitting through the recording from Georgia. So those of you who are in Atlanta, Georgia, we can tap in. It's good to see you, good to tap in with you, and we're celebrating. But I want you all still to tap in on the comments. I want you to still like and share this video, because today we've got some really valuable information. So if you have a shout out, if you want to tell us where you're from, where you're tuning in from, please say that in the comments. Let us know and send us an Aboraboye, an Alafia, a peace, or whatever to enhance this service. So let's get right into it. Today's temple service is going to give you some guide points for becoming a better you in the new year. This, in my opinion, this temple service is going to be a very personal one. This is going to be a very, very personal sermon. So I want you all to take this sermon personally. I want you to be offended. I want you to get mad, but I want you to get right. I want you to be angered, but be encouraged, but also be inspired, and also be empowered. If we can listen and follow Ifa's advice and what Ifa is saying today, I guarantee you that this sermon will support you in having a much better life. So let's begin. I am free, but I am not for free. Know thyself. Now, you know, the term know thyself was etched in the Egyptian or ancient Kemetic metal netture on the walls, the hieroglyphs. And this is one of the oldest form of religion, spirituality, so on. Knowing oneself, knowledge of self. And when you think of that, I want you to know that when we cast Ifa, when we are initiated, what's the whole thing? The whole point is to know your destiny, to know how you fit in this world. Knowledge of self. When you know who you are, just think about that. When you know who you are and you know what you come to bring, you are head and shoulders above the rest. So let's begin. Ifa says in the Odu Ifa called in Odu Ifa, Ogbesa. Ifa says, if a babalawo is in grade 1, let that babalawo lie not. If an herbalist is in need, let that herbalist not be dishonest. Let no one lie or display dishonesty because of accountability when one dies. These are Ifa's declarations to Orunmila when unknown people, pretenders, were waging war against him. He was advised to offer a bow. He complied. Now, you pretenders, you will be exposed. Ye pretenders, I now know that the python, which pretended in the likeness of the Gabon viper, ye pretenders, you have been exposed. Ye pretenders, I now recognize the Agbadu, which pretended to be in the likeness of the boa constrictor. You pretenders, you have been exposed. You pretenders, I can now see that Iwowo Ereke impersonator who claimed that he was Orunmila himself. You pretenders, you have been exposed. You pretenders. So in this Ifa, the story goes that 1, Orunmila himself was finding it difficulty to make ends meet. He was finding it to be a challenge to make money. And he saw that there were some awos that he had taught. And these awos were dishonest. They were shortchanging people. They were doing tricks. They would take the money and not even offer the elbow. They would be casting Ifa with gigantic Ikin. They would be severely overcharging people and doing subpar work. So after Orunmila offered a bow because he wanted to see how he could make money. And those pretenders, those haters out there, they're like, oh, nah, man, what you need to do is you need to be like us. Charge and don't do the bow. You got a customer all the time. Use gigantic Ikin and do tricks. Use gimmicks. Advertise. And Orunmila went to cast Ifa because he wanted to know what he needed to do. And so he cast Ifa, and the Babalawo told him to be consistent, to continue to do the good work that he was doing. Don't change a thing. And after Orunmila offered the Abo, the dishonest Awo came and told him that his honesty was the wrong thing to do. Orunmila maintained and stayed true and honest and continued to do what was right. And those hater awos, they even began to impersonate him. They began to say, we're Orunmila. And the other thing about it is when Orunmila maintained his fortitude, his integrity, those other awos, they couldn't find it comfortable to be in the surrounding or in the presence of Orunmila. They had to leave. And what ended up occurring is those liars and pretenders and fakers and imposters began to be exposed for who they were. So, first point of the new year is I'm not for everyone. Everybody say, I ain't for everybody. I'm not for everybody. So you do not have to conform to the way of the world in order to be accepted. Everyone is not going to like you, and that's fine. We must know our destiny and stick to it. We should never backslide on our destiny. If anything, when we are in the presence of other people, when we are in the presence of folks at our job, folks in our family who don't do the things that we do, who might not live the character or the way of life that we might live virtuously, we should still maintain to be a shining example. Shouldn't judge them, but we should maintain our integrity. Just because somebody else is doing something that they shouldn't be doing, we should not then say, okay, well, you know what, I'll try it. No. We, if anything, when we get in that environment, we should transform the environment. The environment should begin to change based on our presence and being there. And the other thing is, everybody is not going to like that. Everybody is not going to like the fact that you are trying to live your destiny. They might hate on you because they think that you're trying to be arrogant by following your taboos. They might think you are being arrogant or haughty just because you are attempting to do what's right. The room should change when we walk into it. When we enter a room, that room should change. So the first point is, I ain't for everybody. Not for all y'all. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. Next, Ifa says in the Odu Torah often, my kokorogun shrub with sharp thorns. Ifa's message for me when going to the farm to pick Eboru seeds. She was advised to offer Ebo. She complied. Some picked 20 Eboru seeds, some picked 30 Eboru seeds, some picked 50 Eboru seeds. Miyi was only able to pick one. So in this story, there was a young woman by the name of Miyi, and her friends went to the farm to collect Eboru seeds. And Eboru seeds would be something that they could use to parlay and sell and get more money for. So these seeds were something that was valuable within the community. So as they were picking, some of her friends picked 20. Another person picked like 30. Another one picked 50. And then Miyi was only able to find one. So all of her friends started talking trash about it. It was like, man, look at her. She's poor thing. She could only find one seed. What is she gonna get when she gets to the market? So the money she would make would be nothing in comparison to what her friends were about to make. So as they were leaving with their seeds, they had to cross a makeshift bridge on their way back to town. And as they were crossing, Miyi fell into the stream, and the Eboru seed was washed out of her hand, and she went after that seed. And she pursued it until she found herself in another dimension. She went through the stream into another dimension. The stream was like a vortex, and she ended up on the other side in a big city. And that city, they pulled her out the stream, and they asked her what she was there for. She said that she fell in, she was looking for her Eboru seed, and she explained herself. And they understood the value of Eboru seeds. They then said, well, look, here, we'll give you 3 small calabash gourds. And they told her that she needed to hit each gourd on the floor in her room when she got home. So Miyi took the seeds, took the calabashes and went home. And when she got to her room, she followed everything correctly. She slammed the first one on the ground. And in that first gourd, there were many expensive beads. She slammed the second one on the ground, and there were gold, there were diamonds and stones and crystals. In the third calabash, she slammed that one on the ground, and there was expensive material. And Miyi became an instant success. She became an instant millionaire. And as she went out into the community, all the people that hated on her, they saw like, man, what's going on with her? And she explained the story like, well, remember when I had the Eboru seed and you all laughed at me and I had my one seed and I fell into the stream and I pursued it? Well, when I went on the other side, I emerged into another place. And in that place, the people, it was another dimension, and I went into another dimension, and the people there ended up giving me riches. They gave me 3 calabashes, one filled with beads, another with diamonds and treasures, and then another one filled with cloth. And these things made me an instant success. It was like magic. So she told her story. And then one of her friends decided, you know what, I think I'm going to do exactly the thing that Miyi did. I'm gonna get like one seed and then accidentally on purpose fall into the stream. And so she did this. She got it, and her friend got the seed, fell into the stream on purpose. She threw it in the seed into the stream, jumped after it, swam after it, and then emerged onto the other side where it was a big city. And then those people in that city inquired as to what she was doing. And she told them, well, you know, my friend was over here, got all these gourds, and I wanted to get the gourds just like my friend Miyi. And here's my Eboru seed, and and so they understood. It was like, okay, here are 3 gourds. Take these 3 gourds home, and what you need to do is once you get to your home, into your bedroom, slam them on the ground one by one in your room. Do not do it before you get home. Do it in your room. So Miyi's friend decided, man, this is great. I got the gourds. And what does she do? As she's on her way home, she couldn't wait. She was impatient. She throws the first gourd on the ground. And out of that flew bees and wasps, and they stung her mercilessly. She started to run. And as she was running, she threw the second gourd on the ground. And the third gourd she threw on the ground. And at that time, there were snakes and scorpions that came out of those gourds. And they bit her to death. That's why people say, "Eni kanki foriwori muye loko eboru," meaning no one can compare his or her luck to that of Miyi when going in search of Eboru seeds in the farm. So this leads to the second point. And that second point is, what is your USP? USP is a business and marketing word or term that refers to unique selling proposition. What makes your product or your service better than all of the competitors? What makes you different? Example, Tesla's USP is that their cars can be driven without gasoline. Chrysler's USP is clean technology for a new generation of families. Chrysler wants to create family-friendly cars rather than sports cars. Airbnb's USP is to provide travelers with a unique and more personalized experience that is unmatched by a traditional hotel. McDonald's, their USP is fun folks and food. This USP highlights the fact that this company, McDonald's, is committed to providing an enjoyable experience, an enjoyable, memorable dining experience for all their customers of all ages. So when we think about this concept of a USP, unique selling principle, what makes you different? Do you know what your own personal USP is? What makes you special? Why are you here? What are you doing? What's your spiritual constitution? What is your spiritual mission statement? Do you know it? Do you know what you're good at? Do you know what you are supposed to do? Because what you are supposed to do ain't what everybody else is supposed to do, and vice versa. You can't, Chrysler is not going to be Tesla, and Tesla's not going to be Chrysler. They got two different destinies, two different mission statements, two different USPs. What makes you different? We must know we are special and what makes us special. Why are we special? What is the unique thing that I bring into the world? And live that. Miyi went in and she had a destiny that wasn't like anybody else's. And her friend saw Miyi's destiny and was like, yo, I'm gonna do just like her. I'm gonna do exactly like her. You can't do exactly like everybody else. Some stuff that is good for me, it might be your taboo. Your taboo might be someone else's strength. My taboo might be your strength. You can't say, oh, I'm gonna follow his exact steps to success. I'm gonna do everything he did. No, that's not your destiny. It's mine. That's my personal USP. That's his personal USP. Everyone needs to figure out what your unique selling proposition is, your spiritual mission statement, your spiritual constitution. What is it? You need to know it, because that is what will assist you in understanding what your destiny is. Stop trying to be like somebody else. Be yourself. Know who you are and be that. And know what your USP is. My last and final point is going to come from the Odu Ifa Obe Iyon. Ifa says, anger amounts to nothing fruitful for human beings. Patience is the father of good character. The elder who is patient, he is blessed with all good things of life. These Rifa's declarations for Ina, fire, who wanted to be installed as the Olorun, the illuminator. Anger amounts to nothing for human beings. Patience is the father of good character. An elder who is patient, that elder will be blessed with good things of life. These were Ifa's declarations to Orun, the sun, who wanted to be installed as the Olorun, the illuminator. He was advised to offer a bow. These were Ifa's message to Osupa Kirimu, the full moon, who wanted to be installed as the Olorun. He was advised to offer a bow. Only Osupa complied with the advice of the Awo. We have installed Osupa as the Olorun. We have installed Osupa and the world has become peaceful. We have installed Osupa and as the new Olorun. In vain was the competence of Ina. Ina has no good character. We have installed Osupa as the Olorunro. Of no purpose is the capacity of Orun, the sun. Orun is endowed with no good character. We have installed Osupa as the Olorunro, and all Ire has arrived. We have installed Osupa as the Olorunro. We have installed Osupa, and the world has become peaceful. We have installed Osupa as the Olorunro, the illuminator. So in this Ifa, the story goes that the position of the illuminator was like a chieftaincy or kingly position. And there were three personalities who were going for this position. One was fire, Ina. The other one was Orun, the sun, and the other was Osupa, the moon. So the first competitor who wanted to be the illuminator was fire. Fire went, and before fire went to be interviewed by the council of kingmakers, he went and cast Ifa. He went to cast Ifa, but the thing of it is, fire went, and fire knew what fire was. Fire was like, yo, I'm fire. Man, I'm a shoe-in for this position. So fire went and casted Ifa, not on if he would get the position. He cast Ifa on how his inauguration or installment would be, what it would look like. What should he bring? So he went and cast Ifa, and the Babalawo said, yes, you are quite qualified for being the illuminator, the Olorunro. But you must be patient. And you need to offer a bow for patience and being slow to anger. Because without being patient and exhibiting anger, you will neutralize this whole operation. You will lose out. So Ina thought the Babalawos were trying to take money from him. And he said, I gotta listen to these dudes. I'm going in. He goes in, and the kingmakers decided, well, look, we have other people to interview. We need you to be patient. Even the kingmakers knew and felt Ina is a shoe-in for the position. And because Ina was not given the position immediately, he got angry, and fire burned down the homes of all the kingmakers. Next came Orun, the sun. The sun came, and the sun went and cast Ifa, and the sun wanted to know, when he cast Ifa, how big he would be when he got this position. Not if he would get the position. He already assumed the position was his. He cast Ifa. The Babalawo told him, you too must be very patient. Do not exhibit anger or impatience. Without doing that, you will be well, because you are the sun. You are a shoe-in for the Olorunro, the illuminator position. And the sun is like, man, I am the sun. What am I thinking? Why do I need to offer a bow for a position that I already have? So he went and spoke to the kingmakers, and they said, yes, very good. Even the kingmakers, as I said, since fire didn't get the position, they knew the sun was a shoe-in. So a surefire illuminator. The kingmaker said, okay, we'll let us continue to deliberate. The sun wanted the position immediately and left, and ended up shining so bright that he killed the crops of all the kingmakers. Last was the moon. The moon went. The full moon went and cast Ifa. the kingmaker said, and the Babalaos told the moon, you must offer Ebo and be very patient, slow to anger, and exhibit good character. That is the way that Shu will be the grand illuminator. So the moon, the full moon, offered Ebo, went in, and the kingmakers deliberated. And they looked at the moon and they're like, the full moon gives off a gentle light at night. When it's pitch black, the moon shines and it gives a gentle light that you can walk in and it's comfortable. You can feel the cool breeze. The full moon gives us the perfect amount of light and is the perfect, has the perfect position in terms of giving us the right amount of light. It's not burning, it's gentle. We can even look up and face the moon. And we can enjoy ourselves in the night as we walk, as we garden, as we do whatever we do in the light of the moon, and it'll still be beneficial. They then said the moon should be the grand illuminator with good character. That is how the moon became Olorun. Which leads me to the third and final point. Knowing your destiny will have you doing things that you are not qualified to do. Let me explain. Understand, the moon, everyone knows the sun shines. The sun illuminates everything. Everyone knows that fire not only burns, it illuminates. The moon is the unsung hero of this story. And in essence, we see by the standard, the moon is not in any comparison to the sun. But when you put it in the proper context of the night, the moon is perfect. Let me correct myself and say that knowing your destiny will enable you to do things that no human being, no man has qualified you to do. You are not qualified to do that, but Olodumare has bestowed it upon you to do. It is your destiny to do it, but you ain't qualified to do it. You have been educated in college. Your destiny will have you doing things that your college education didn't prepare you for. Your destiny will have you doing things that your work experience did not set you up to become. Your destiny will have you doing things that you didn't have any mind to do in the first place. Your destiny will have you do things that only your life has prepared you for. The thing that you grew up experiencing, the thing that you grew up thinking was your weakness, is the thing that Olodumare has set up to be your strength. You may have come from a broken home, but that prepared you to have a harmonious matrimonial experience because you know what discord looks like. Your broken home sets you up to break generational curses. You may not have had a father, and the world said that you are not qualified statistically to be a good dad or a good husband. The history sets you up to defy the odds and raise your children and nurture your wife and family well. Destiny will have you accomplishing things that only Olodumare has given you the appointment to do. Your destiny will have you doing things that you ain't qualified to do. Have you ever been in a situation where you know, man, I don't even know how I got this position. I don't even know how I'm doing well at this position because nothing in my life that I can recollect has ever put me in a position to do this. This was given to me by God. This was given to me by my destiny. And when we have a position like that, when you're doing your destiny, when you're living your destiny, no man, no human being can get you out of that position. So finally, I want you to remember these 3 points. Number 1, you ain't for everybody. Don't try to be for everybody. Don't try to be a people pleaser. Don't try to be cool with everybody. Everybody is not going to be cool with you. You don't need to be cool with everybody. And that's fine. Be you. If they don't like you because you try to live a life of good character, or you try to do things according to your destiny, you try to follow your taboos, you try to live your life right, or whatever you deem to be right, as long as you know it is correct with you and God, and you're trying to do it and everybody else is looking at you like, man, who cares? You ain't got to answer to any of them. Only entity you got to answer to is the Arumule and Almighty God. You ain't for everybody. I am not everyone's cup of tea. Number 2, know your destiny. Know what makes you different. Know your USP. But what that also means is know your value. Know your worth. Know what you came here to do, right? Know that. Don't try to do somebody else's destiny. Do your destiny. Don't try to live somebody else's life. Don't say, oh man, the way they did it, no, that's not, you might think the way that we got to be in the high position that we are, it was like a smooth transition. No, this was a trip filled with bumps, bruises, dips, and twists and turns, and you don't want that. You want your story, because your bumps, bruises, twists, and turns are going to be the things that set you up to be great. So know your value, know your USP, know your destiny, and know what makes you different. And last and final point is, when you do your destiny, when you're living your destiny will set you up to do things that man didn't qualify you for. When you know your destiny, you are empowered to do miraculous things that humanity cannot explain, that humanity cannot justify. And no one can remove that destiny from you. Aboro Aboye. So I thank you all so much for joining us today. Give us a shout out. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Also, if y'all are in the Atlanta area, holler at us today. We're in Atlanta one day. We'll be back in Cali by the next temple service. So we thank you. Also, Itadagun was, I believe it was on Thursday. So we have already offered Itadagun. If you want to participate in Itadagun, you can do so. If you like what we're doing here at Idinka, please like and share these videos. Let folks know what we're doing. Let folks know where we are. Join us. And if you want to send donations, if you like what we're doing and you want to continue assist us in continuing this process, please send your donations below. And if you want to Castify for the new year, go to the website and you can Castify to see what Olodumare has in store for you. So, as we close, I pray, Olodumare, please ward off death, ward off sickness, ward off cases, controversy, ward off fights, litigation, losses, outright fights, ward off all negative things from us. Bring to us long life, wealth, good spouse, good children, peace of mind, healing, and help us to know ourselves, know our worth, know our destiny, know our USP, know that it's cool that we ain't for everybody, and know that our destiny is what makes us valuable. Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you. Tap in. Aboro, aboye, abo, shishe.